What's up, good people? I'm DJ Epic, your friendly neighborhood content creator. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and join my growing community where I discuss wrestling, gaming, and other nerdy things. So please hit subscribe and let's build together. Welcome in, guys, to my Raw recap where I discuss some of the highlights from Monday Night Raw. Now, I won't deep dive into the show, but I will go over the majority of it. Now, tonight's Raw was live from Kansas City, Missouri, and they reported an attendance of around 11,000 fans. Now, Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins coming out to a massive pop, accompanied by Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. And I think it's worth noting, Braun and Paul wore black suits while Seth wore his normal lavish attire to the ring. Paul Heyman looked noticeably unhappy to be standing next to Seth Rollins. He looked very disgruntled the entire time. He was selling that well. Sami Zayn ended up interrupting the promo, and Sami cut a promo basically calling Seth Rollins a hypocrite for complaining about Roman Reigns and the bloodline, but at the same time forming a team himself with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, pretty much accusing him of doing the same thing that he used to complain about Roman Reigns doing. And Seth ended up giving Sami Zayn an ultimatum to either get on board or move to SmackDown, giving him till the end of the night to decide what he wanted to do. Next up, you had Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. Former NXT champion Julia ended up coming to the ring, getting involved in the match, and it ended in a DQ. They both ended up beating up Rhea until Io Sky came to the rescue. Next up, you had Logan Paul cutting a promo in the ring, insulting the fans, disrespecting Jey Uso, saying that he does not look like a legend. At this point, of course, Jey Uso comes out to the ring, cuts a promo of his own, and he ends up hitting Logan Paul with a super kick and yeeting off into the sunset. Next up, you had the War Raiders versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD Wagana, with New Day on the commentary. Now, during this match, Carlito kept trying to get involved and interfere. Penta ended up coming and saving the day, and the War Raiders hit JD McGullough with the War Machine for the win. Now, backstage, you have Paul Heyman talking to Sami Zayn about them being OG bloodline and reminiscing about things. But Paul Heyman also tells Sami that Braun Breaker wants a match with him tonight. And he also tells Sami that Seth Rollins is giving him an offer. He's saying that if Seth is telling Sami that if he goes to SmackDown starting this Friday, Seth will guarantee he gets a match with the winner of the John Cena Randy Orton Bakclash match. But Sami, of course, has to make a decision by the end of the night. Next, you have Becky Lynch in the ring cutting a promo addressing the Bayley situation. Now, this was interesting. She addresses Bayley getting taken out at WrestleMania. Now, Becky Lynch says, hey, look, there doesn't need to be a whodunit. There doesn't need to be an investigation. Becky Lynch on the spot admits that she did it. She says, I'm the one that took out Bayley. So there you have it. Now, at this point, Lara Valkyria ends up coming out, tries to engage in some fisticuffs with Becky, but Becky runs away. She declines to fight, saying that Kansas City does not deserve to see that match. Now, at this point, Lara challenges Becky to a title match at Bakclash, and Becky, of course, accepts. Now, at this point, finally, Lara gets her hands on Becky Lynch and starts to deliver a beatdown, but Becky manages to escape through the crowd. Now, this was actually a good part here. So as Lara Valkyria is leaving the ramp, going up to the ring to leave, Becky comes back through the gorilla position, through the aprons, and attacks her and gets the best of her. That was really smart for her to sneak through the crowd and then come back. Next up, you have Rusev cutting a promo. Now, this promo, it was kind of dark, but Rusev is basically claiming that, he used to be a bad guy. He was not using his talents for good, but now he's saying he's going to be some sort of vigilante, saying he's going to now hunt down those wrestlers who are not using their talents for good, who are not doing right. And he says those who have lost their way like he once did. So it's sounding like he's going to be the new Batman of the WWE, maybe Venom of sorts. I don't know if this is a heel or I don't know if it's heelish. I don't know, anti-hero of sorts, it seems, maybe. But it'll be interesting to see. There was a pretty decent promo though. Next, you had Stephanie Vicure, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Ivy Now. Pretty good technical match. Both showed some good grappling skills, some good mat techniques. Chad Gable kept distracting Stephanie, giving Ivy Now opportunities to take advantage, but ultimately Stephanie hits her with the SVB for the win. A decent match. Next up, Pat McAfee addresses the attack by Gunther, cutting a promo filled with a lot of explicit words. They had to censor a lot of words on Netflix. The SmackDown GM, Nick Aldis, came out because he was filling in for Adam Pearce that night. He asked Pat McAfee to be more professional. Pat asked him to lift the suspension on Gunther so he can get his hands on him tonight. Nick Aldis did not do that, but he did agree that he will lift the suspension on Gunther for them to have a match at Bakclash in St. Louis. Of course, Pat McAfee agreed, so you're going to have Pat versus Gunther at Bakclash in St. Louis. Now, backstage, you had Jey Uso talking to Sami Zayn, and when Sami Zayn walked off, Logan Paul got his lick back and sucker punched Jey and left him on the ground. In the last segment of the night, Seth Rollins comes out to the ring. He calls Sami Zayn out to see what his decision will be. Again, the choices that Seth gave Sami was to either step out of his way and get with the program that he's on Raw, or he can go to SmackDown, or he will be given a match against the winner of Cena and Orton. If he doesn't do that, he won't like the consequences, he says. So Sami comes to the ring, and Sami basically said he doesn't like being threatened. He said, what you're doing, you're saying that you're my friend, but you're threatening me. So Sami explains that he doesn't like being threatened, and he told him to go to hell. At that point, Braun Breaker's music hits. Braun comes out, and they have a match after the commercial break. It was a pretty good match. Sami Zayn was doing pretty good. He hit him with a Halua kick. Well, tried to hit him with a Halua kick. Got hit with a spear in return. After that, Braun hit him with like a couple more spears. Got him outside the ring, and then he ran around the ring and hit him with another spear. At that point, the refs and staff intervened and called for the bell so that Braun could not deliver any more punishment. And at this point, as Sami Zayn is on the ground trying to get up while the staff is helping him, he gets hit with a curb stomp by Seth Rollins, and Raw goes off the air. So what did you think about Raw? Did you like it? What do you think about the matches they're setting up for Bakclash? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you subscribe for more wrestling and gaming news.